So, students of class 8, the same lesson, War Diaries. So here we have the things recorded in Italian Bilbrao's diary. My War Diary, he wrote like this, 1914 to 18, by Ethel M. Bilbrao. The journal was penned by Ethel, a Kent housewife, during the course of World War I, and provides glimpses of the effects of the Great War on civilians who were not directly involved in the conflict. So it was actually written by Ethel, Ethel was a Kent housewife during the course of World War I, and provides what? Her diary provides what? Glimpses of the effects of the Great War on civilians who were not directly involved in the conflict. So, for July 1915, this is going to be my War Diary. I wish I had studied this book when the war first began, but I imagined the whole thing would be all over and forgotten in a few months. So why she had not written when the war started is because she thought that the things will be over and forgotten in a few months. So she started late. 10th August 1915, war, and our brave lads are being hacked and shot down day by day in appalling numbers, in very pathetic numbers. The soldiers, English soldiers, are being hacked and shot down. So one wonders if there will be any man left at all in the world at the present rate of extermination, the rate in which the soldiers were being shot down. It leads one to wonder whether there will be any man left in the world. So this is what she writes in the diary on 10th August 1915. Now 7th May 1916. Never has there been a more beautiful May than this one. Yet while the birds sing and the cuckoo's note is heard continually, the sound of cannon intermingles with the harmony of spring. At the moment, there doesn't appear the slightest possibility of things being settled. Now what she writes on this day, 7 May 1916, you know, the war had started in 1914. Now 2 years have passed and the war is not yet over. So it was May, and it was that spring season, and what happens there? You hear the song of birds, the cuckoo's note. These are the things that we hear in nature, and there at that time, with this harmonious sound of spring, that sound of cannon mixes up. So at the moment, there doesn't appear the slightest possibility of things being settled, and no one could think that the things would be settled soon. So it was going to be a long war. So this is what she records on 7th May 1916. So with that, the things in the first slide comes to an end, and let us move on to the next slide to see what is there. So here we are, 15th April 1970. Food is getting distinctly scarce, and one begins to feel as if we were living in the days of the French Revolution. Now what kind of feeling the people had because of the scarcity of food? That as if they were living in the days of the France Revolution. You know, during the time of the France Revolution, why people revolted? Because of the scarcity of food, and as they had to sleep empty stomach. That is one of the main reasons why that French Revolution had taken place. Now, at this time also, the scarcity of food was like that, and people had the feeling of being in the days of the French Revolution. A proclamation announcement from the king has been read exhorting. So it is commanding one actually order, commanding order, the people to practice. So it is what official royal announcement, and urging, strongly recommending people to do what? To do what is mentioned here, the people to practice the most rigid economy, especially in bread, not to spend too much money on food, especially in bread. That means not to think about eating more. So they have to be economical there. So why? Because of the scarcity of food. And this is one of the side effects of war. Now, 24th May 1917, what she writes, the worst raid that we in England have experienced yet. That, and on that particular day, England had experienced the worst of the attacks, worst of the raids, and it took place in broad daylight at 5:30, maybe in the evening time, when people go out for shopping, when 16 hostile aircraft hovered over Folkestone. This is the place, and in its sky, 16 hostile, that means enemy-like aircraft hovered. It could be seen flying over Folkestone, dropping bombs in rapid succession. They were doing, they were dropping bombs in rapid succession. People had come out to do their shopping, and they were killed outright. Poor old women, helpless children, babies in arms, all were ruthlessly mutilated, killed and wounded. For a bomb is no respecter of persons. So what we can find here, that 16 aircraft hovered over Folkestone, and it was dropping bombs in rapid succession, and it was mutilating. That means body parts were separated, and killed and wounded, killed people and injured people. Who were the persons? Old women, helpless children, babies in arms, all were sufferers. Because a bomb is no respecter of persons. So this is what she writes on 24th May. Now, 3rd January 1980. Once one wonders what a new year will bring. It is bound to be a year of crisis, for food supplies are running short, and the enemy that we shall have to fight before very long will be famine and starvation, if the present rate of things continues. I'm rather glad, because when one is struggling with his slice of already dry toast, one really feels that one is at last taking part in the war. So what she writes here, that there was shortage of food, and New Year was going to probe as a year of crisis, and foods are short, and people will have to fight against famine and starvation. So this is all that we have in this presentation. Come up with new things in the next presentation. Till that time, bye. Thank you.